beautiful people. I hope that you guys are having a good day, a good start to your day anyway. My day just got started. I am currently on my way to work, but I wanted to record this video. And I just wanted to talk about decluttering your mind. I think that oftentimes, like, our days feel rushed, and a lot of the reason why we do experience restlessness is because our minds are so cluttered. I want to talk about two things directly when it comes to decluttering your mind. The first thing is to declutter your mind before going to bed. This is giving your body and your mind time to wind down before you actually go to sleep. A few ways that you can wind down is to simply process your day. That's number one. Process your day. Process the things that happen throughout the day, the positives, the negatives. Process your thoughts and your feelings. Processing if you accomplished your goals, if you were productive, if there are some things that you needed to do that you wasn't able to do that you may have to do tomorrow or throughout the week. You know, just processing your day, processing your schedule for the next day so you're not having to wake up with that kind of anxiety. Another way that you can declutter your mind before going to bed is to do something that's soothing and relaxing. A lot of the times we are going to bed with a lot of negative energy instead of positive energy. And the negative energy you would think would drain you enough to go to bed, but it actually keeps you awake longer and it takes away from your sleep. I know for me, I love to take a good shower. Some people like taking baths and things like that. Just have a moment of self-care time, something that you can do for you to really release that negative energy. I know for me, I am coming out of this, but I am a shutdowner. But I have been working on being better at communicating, my thoughts, my feelings. Sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. But as a person who tends to shut down, I do go to bed with a lot of negativity, and I notice that during the times where I am shut down, I don't get as much sleep, for one. And if I do go to sleep, I tend to have more negatively themed dreams. I also tend to wake up more fatigued and more feeling of stress. So if you are a shutdowner, I'm going to be doing a whole video on that. I promise I will bring that content to you. If you are a shutdowner, finding ways to release that negative energy before going to bed. For me, it will be simply having a conversation about the person or the situation, whatever it has me shut down. Me learning how to have a conversation about it, to release those negative feelings, to release that negative energy will be a perfect way for me. Like I said, I'm still working on it daily. It's still a struggle for me, but I do know that's one of the leading causes to why my mind does stay cluttered. I'm already a deep thinker, so for me to be a deep thinker and to have just clutter in my mind, it's just too much sometimes. It's overwhelming at times. So if you struggle with that, like I said, I will bring in a whole video about that anyway. But if you struggle with shutting down, or if you struggle with not being able to release that negative energy before going to bed, I would strongly suggest to you to find a self-care activity that you can do. You're going to hear me say self-reflection a lot because, self-reflection, I come to find out, just checking with yourself mentally, emotionally, and physically, even spiritually, sometimes even financially. It's a good way to check in because those are the biggest areas that we tend to experience stress on a daily basis. And so if you can just simply check in with yourself, like, hey, how are you feeling? What are you feeling right now? Why are you feeling it? If there's any possible solutions that I can do before going to bed, sometimes it can be calling someone up and say, hey, I just need to get this out. Can you just listen? You don't even have to say nothing. I just need to get this out so I can declutter my mind. Like, those type of things is things that we tend to shy away from because we feel like isolation is the best way to go, when really it's the worst way to go. And I am extremely talking to myself in this video. I tend to think that isolating, like, no one needs to know what I'm going through. No one needs to know my thoughts and my feelings. I can handle it on my own. And then it's like a week then went by. I'm really tired. I haven't got no sleep, no rest. Negativity is up the charts. You know, it's just like I can't, my focus is off. You know, I can't focus working a full-time job and going to school. I need to be focusing, you know. So if you're dealing with that as well, you know, finding that person that you can maybe call up and have a short conversation. Don't have to be nothing long, not like that. Just someone that you trust, someone that you can vent to, someone you can pour your heart out to, you know, to really get that stuff off your mind. Another thing that you can do to declutter your mind or de-stress, or in other words, participate in a self-care activity, is to pray. I mean, if you are a spiritual person, go to your higher power, you know, draw strength from your higher power. Ask your higher power to give you strength to take away that negativity, you know, to bring about a more positive attitude and a more positive mindset, to give you a spirit of peace, so you can lay your head down to sleep. Another thing that you can do to declutter your mind is to basically, I'll put it this way. One thing that I used to do very often was go on a drive. I used to go on a drive, and I used to play my jazz music, and sometimes I would just do some self-reflection, or sometimes I would legit just cry. Like, sometimes you really need to just release your emotional baggage. Like, that's one thing that a lot of people don't talk about either. It's just like, you know, people are taught to keep their emotions and their thoughts to themselves, and that has been like literally one of the leading causes to why people experience so much stress throughout the day, and you know why they can't seem to be themselves, you know, because they have all these feelings and emotions, you know, that it's just taken over their mind, and you know they have been led to believe that, you know, if I keep it in, if I could just put on a mask, then that'll be the best thing for me to do. I'm telling you, that's not the best thing for you to do. I lived it for years. That is not the best thing for you to do. So if you can do something to release that emotional baggage, I don't know what that looks like for you. Like I said, for me, that was going on a drive, listening to my music, just allowing myself to calm down, get into that state of humility, really, to be totally vulnerable with myself. You know, like a lot of times we think that we have to be vulnerable to everybody else, but we don't even get vulnerable with ourselves. So how can we really expect to be vulnerable with someone else when we can't even do that with ourselves? Like, if you don't know completely who you are, how can you share that with someone else? Another way to declutter your mind is self-forgiveness. Kind of just touched on that, but really, you know, getting down to the things that you feel like you may have done. Some people be mad at themselves for not being productive. Be like, yo, I didn't do what I was supposed to do today. I know I didn't do what I was supposed to do today, and now I'm mad about it. You know, so you carry a lot of just, you know, self-hatred or self-doubt, you know, lack of self-confidence and things like that. You know, so self-forgiveness goes a long way. Also being able to forgive others. Even the Bible says that we should not let the sun go down angry. That is something that I struggle with because I do shut down, you know, so I am working on that. It's really not healthy to go to bed, you know, when you are angry, or when you're in frustration, or when you're stressed. You know, it is really important to wind down before you go to bed. Another key point, though, just as important as it is for you to wind down before going to bed, it is also important to give your body and your mind time to wake up in the morning. We all know when our alarm don't go off on time and we are running out the door and we are stressed, we feel like the whole day is jacked up. And that's simply because we did not give our body and our mind time to properly wake up. So here's some tips on how to give your body and your mind that time. One thing to do is, I'm going to mention self-care again. Wake up in enough time for you to have a little bit of time to yourself, whether that be 10 to 20 minutes before you have to get up and go to work, or whatever your daily routine is. If you can slide 10 to 20 minutes in there to do some self-care, do something for you. For most people, that's going to be having their coffee. I know coffee drinkers, I got y'all, so sometimes it's simply getting up and having your coffee and just sitting with yourself, or watching the news, or reading the newspaper, whatever your daily routine is, before the kids wake up, before you have to run out the door. Give yourself that time to do something that is enjoyable. That's also something that you can do before going to bed. Give yourself 10 to 15 minutes to do something that you enjoy, whether that be strolling through social media, whether that be watching your favorite show, reading a part of a book. But the thing about that is, if you're going to be strolling, one thing I would suggest to you is to dim your light a little bit on your phone, so the light is not actually keeping you more awake and becoming more of a distraction. You don't want a distraction to stay up when you're trying to wind down. So if it's something that's going to keep you going, I suggest you not do that. So if social media is something that you do for hours and you can't seem to stop, I would not recommend you doing that right before you go to bed, because that 10 to 15 minutes is literally going to turn into 2 to 3 hours, and you're going to be jacked up in the morning. But anyway, going back to when you wake up, like I said, giving yourself time to do something for you. This can include journaling, setting your daily routine, setting your goals for today. It could be anything that makes you feel confident about starting your day, going about your day. If there's some things that you need to do before leaving the house, one thing that I cannot stress enough, I know that people feel like they don't get enough sleep, and some people don't get enough sleep, but you have to think about, okay, what am I doing before I'm going to bed that's causing me not to get enough sleep? And also, how early am I waking up in the morning? Some people do need that 8-hour sleep. Some people can, their bodies are different and they need 5 to 6 hours of sleep. Or some people may need 9 to 10 hours of sleep. Set your schedule to fit the number of hours that you need. So that way, when you set an alarm for 7 o'clock when you have to be at work at 9, you can give yourself that proper time to wake up in the morning. There's so many things, so many tips that I can give you. If there's one tip in particular that stood out to you that you want more information about, please drop a comment below. I will be glad to do a video just centering around that particular topic. If that's something that you want, please leave a comment in the comment section. Also, if there's a tip that you have for winding down, or a tip that you have for properly waking your body up, please leave it down in the comment section, because I think that your opinion is valuable and we all need to be able to help each other out. So I hope that you enjoyed this video. I hope that this video was helpful to you in some kind of way. Remember to love yourself, to love others, and be positive. That is something that we forget about. We worry about everybody else throughout the day, especially if you're a parent. You're constantly worrying about your children. Even if you're not a parent, me, I'm not a parent, but I love my job. I love my relationship, and things like that. So, really being able to give energy to those things that you love, remaining positive, is a really big help to be able to declutter your mind. So once again, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope that you have a beautiful day. The sun is shining over here. I hope the sun is shining where you are. If not, smile, and that will be your sunshine. Have a good day, everyone.